Virgo seekers, welcome everyone. Hi, welcome to the existential shift. If you're new, my name is Morgane, and I'm here to do your April reading, and probably slightly towards the beginning of May because I'm a little bit late, but okay. Let's just say the next month. It's been messy so far anyway, so if I'd given you your reading a week or 2 weeks ago, you'd forget about it. King of Swords and the Magician. Not saying it is an excuse. That and I was late. It just so happened to have worked together. Anyway, King of Swords and the Magician. Oh, hi, Virgo. This is so you, but like in the best of ways. Just showing up, royalty, both on the 3D and in the mystical realm. You really know what to say, when to say, and how to say it. You've reached a level of mastery in the spoken and written word. And it's not without other elements that you're good at. I will go to the extent of have mastered. The wand, the cup, the pentacle. It's not just a sword here. You just know how to use your mind and your communication to express the balance of the elements. You've found the bridge between your thought process and how you communicate it to the universe in combination with action and in being in tune with your heart. So things just start happening and people start listening. Saying the right thing doesn't guarantee people listening. Saying it in a way in which they can process and understand guarantees them listening. See, if you'll say something brilliant in French to someone who only speaks English, it's not going to matter. If you'll do a brilliant performance, but not in front of the camera, it's not going to matter. And yes, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is there to hear it, it does not make a sound. There's actually an answer to that. I told you guys this once before, my seekers in general, I'm not sure when, but I'll remind you, or if you're new. So there's actually a fun fact about it. I'm detouring and then I'll come back just because I'm enjoying this. For a sound to make a sound, it has to interact with an eardrum. The eardrum is what translates the sound waves into sounds in the mind. So there is actually an answer to that question. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound? No, it does not. It still has sound waves, but it doesn't make a sound. So similarly, you understand now that there's a difference between the energy of truth and what you know to how it translates into truth that is honored by others as well and recognized. You found it. You found that bridge. You found the eardrum to people. Now you're talking to someone and it's like you know how to aim to their eardrum. Love it. If I'll name this reading their eardrum, do you think anyone will guess which direction I'm taking this to? Some people will assume that it's something sexual and kinky maybe. So I went out on a first, not even a first date-ish, with a guy who asked me what I do, which is a legitimate question, but I told him I'd rather not say it. I told him I have a YouTube channel, but I told him I'd rather him getting to know me and not know the channel yet, blah, blah. And so he started guessing, and his guesses were, do you cook? on the channel? I'm like, no. Do you review anything on the channel? And I'm like, not really. No, he meant products. So, okay. So, in that case, you must be doing something sexual. Yes, sir, if a woman is not cooking on her channel or reviewing something on her channel, it must be something sexual. So that's how some people are going to translate. Needless to say, I'm not seeing this guy again. He's like, no. But some people might read their eardrum and think that. And if you have and clicked on this video because of that, maybe I'll put like an uber sexy picture or something like that. I don't know. Like as a thumbnail. And then if that was the case, if you got lured here because of that, because you assumed it was that, it wasn't to set you up, it was to show you something about how your mind works and the possibility you give things. Yeah, the possibilities you would give me, the possibilities that you'd give a woman. Even if you are a woman, women can be chauvinists. What? Let's get back to this. Okay, show me more, please, for Virgo about this King of Swords and the Magician. And there's this person who's listening, Virgo. There's this person who's in tune with what you do, what you say, how you do, how you say. And they're taking it in. There's a level of analysis. They're analyzing you. Picking up on someone analyzing you. Listening to you. Trying to make sense out of this. Trying to make sense out of Virgo, it's like if you're cross-watching or whatever, trying to make sense out of Virgo is like trying to make sense out of reality. There is method to the madness. There is sense there, nothing but sense actually, but it's impossible to fathom or comprehend because it's impossible to fathom and comprehend reality. Virgo represents, it's the sign of reality, okay? And people automatically, other signs automatically assume that it means that you're rigid, strict, boring, simple. Is reality rigid, simple, boring? Reality is insane. I'm not saying that you're insane, Virgo. I'm saying that the complexity and the depth and it's just in the intricacies, right? To you, to reality. I don't know why they would think that they can do it or why they should. It's someone that likes putting things in boxes, which is funny enough because Virgo likes putting things in boxes. Only Virgos that don't recognize like the magic in reality. Virgos that don't believe in magic they put things into boxes, right? Categorize everything and people and situations. But a Virgo that understands the magic in reality, that reality is magic in and of itself. That's a limitless Virgo. And trying to fathom a Virgo like that is... But it's not like Crazyville. It's not. It's just when you walk down reality and you see a plant and you see a road and you see the regular things in reality, you don't think, oh God, this is insane. But if you just really, really try to like think deeply about this, you go into awe. So surface level, Virgos can look seemingly simplified, but if you really get to know them or if you really go into like a deep thought of them, of you guys, it's like awe. The eardrums awe. Just trying to figure out. Already, only 2 cards on the table. Already trying to figure out the caption because I find it entertaining. Okay. 4 Four of Pentacles in the reverse. Look at you, Virgo, letting go of the strict aspects of reality and tapping into magic. Did I just help you do that? Yay, amen, hopefully, whatever. Okay, not taking credit. You did it, you did it, you did it. Yay. You realize that you were holding on to structure as long as you thought everything is about structure. But now that you see that not everything in reality is about structure, you're like, okay, I can let go of it. And then now you're free. If you want to challenge me and say, oh, but there is structure to everything, in a way, but then think of empty matter. Think of the space between the atom, right? Between the moving electrons surrounding the nucleus with the protons and the neutrons. Like, there's just infinity in between them. But what holds it together? What's the structure there? Okay, so you can see the structure of the electrons and the nucleus and the protons and neutrons within it. There's a structure to that, but everything in between. It's like this. Is it nothingness? Is it everythingnessness? So no, there isn't structure to everything. And yet somehow everything just happens and makes sense. It's terrifying, isn't it? Terrifying and exciting. And so free. I'm picking up such free energy for you guys. This is so refreshing. Oh, a card apparently flipped and it... Look at this. I was shuffling and I saw a card was speaking up, and it's the death card. Change, mofos. Wow. Major change. You are letting go of something that you held on to for a very long time. I don't know if it was a plan, a mindset, a person, a place, a situation, everything, yourself, a sense of self, characteristics, blah. Major change, major transformation. With the Magician and the Death card, you are tapping into really your core power, Virgo. There's a sense of, you're unapologetic. This is what it is. You're not explaining yourself anymore. 2 sevens dropped. 7 of Wands and 7 of Pentacles. You're not trying to explain yourself anymore. You're not, wondering if people should understand where you're coming from or why you're thinking something or why you're doing something. You used to explain yourself, and now maybe you were tempted to explain yourself in something and you were like, no, I don't need to explain myself. I'm just going to make the decision, and that's that. Because there's the teacher in you, right? So you want to educate, and it's beautiful, it's great, but sometimes it's futile. Like, I didn't bother to explain that guy why I'm not interested. I didn't bother. It wasn't just that. It was like a few other little small stuff that but why bother? No offense. I'm not, if at any time he watches this or anyone else that I am inspired to speak about things because of experience, because I speak in the channel based on my life's experience, right? So never take it personally or like I have anything against anyone. It's just, chill. I'm just being inspired to talk about things, but it's not, I take a fraction of you and then make an example out of it. But that doesn't mean that that's the whole of you. And I'm sure you're a beautiful person, all of you out there. Anyone who knows me and doesn't know me, when you watch my channel, please understand that even if I talk about you directly, I'm not talking about you directly. Does that make sense? So look what I just did. I did the Virgo thing that I told you should not be doing. I explained myself. Well, I have to because it's my job, it's my channel. But you guys, you don't, not in your private life, okay? Obviously, if it's your job, if you're teaching something, okay, explain yourself. But in your private life, it's okay to just be like, F it. I don't need to explain myself. I'm just going to go ahead and focus on what's important. I'm not going to focus on the nonsense. I'm not going to waste energy on things that don't matter. Sometimes telling people certain things is not going to matter. It's not going to change anything. It's just going to drag into an argument or or an explanation, or what, a conversation that will just exhaust you. So sometimes just don't go into it. Sometimes you can just be like, I know why, and that's enough. Right? Don't be tempted to waste your energy on things that won't lead anywhere. Because one of the big aspects of the magician is that they are a master of energy. They know how to work with energy. They know when to use energy, how to use it, and it requires discernment, focus, timing. It's not just putting it all out there all the time. No. Because if you plant seeds everywhere, you're not going to be able to water it everywhere. And then some seeds will die and feel neglected. And then you created more trauma. And sorry. The trauma of the seed. Well, it has feelings. I don't know. Anyway, you're getting my point. I'm taking my examples way too far. Planting the seed in a soil in which it can grow and you know you can return to and water it. And of course you can do anything, but should you? Would you? Don't focus on nonsense. You already know where you need to put your focus in. You already know what matters in each situation. So why are you still facing the nonsense? Because you're disappointed with the way things have happened possibly, and you're like, if I'll just explain it or get my point across, it will. No. If there was the capacity to understand with this person or in this situation, you wouldn't have to explain. See the irony there? If they had the eardrum to translate your energy, you wouldn't have to explain. You need people, places, situations with the eardrum to translate your energy. I have 4477, 4 of Pentacles. The Death card is 13, sums to 4, and then 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Wands. 4477. Highly prophetic energy. 4 and 7, especially together, they're very prophetic. 4, yes, in Pythagoras numerology is like the foundation is the stability, the square, the ground, right? But in Babylonian numerology and in a deeper translation, it's realities that can be built and seeing reality. Reality that isn't limited to present tense, rather past and future. Someone who can see reality the way they were and the way they can be built. Okay, it's a number of vision, especially in combination with 7. Okay, so maybe you're a visionary. Maybe you're trying to build some sort of reality, and right now you feel like it hasn't been working out. But this is how the reading has started. So you need to, if you're a tree, then you need to drop in a forest where there is eardrums to hear. I can't even. How do you deal with this, guys? Yes, you guys are last before Ophiuchus, but I always do Ophiuchus last. Last, but the opposite of least. Five of Cups. Are you not listening to a word I'm saying? Are you still obsessing over nonsense? People without eardrums? This is an analogy in case there's someone out there who actually has hearing situations or trouble with their eardrum. I'm really sorry. I love you. I hope you understand I'm using it as an analogy. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Hi. No, bye. Okay. Five of Cups. I'm dealing with some cross watchers who are like, okay, well, what am I supposed to do with the Virgo then? There's nothing you're supposed to do with the Virgo. Develop your capacity to translate energy in a way that won't drive the Virgo nuts. And then when they go nuts, you are upset with them for being frustrated that you don't get them. If you're speaking different languages, it's okay. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you or something wrong with them. It just means that either you learn each other's languages or you let it go. There doesn't have to be animosity or anger or frustration. Not everything is meant to work. Not everything is meant to be fixed. Okay, and if you want to fix something or make something work, learn their language or help them learn yours, etc., instead of like being upset every time you don't understand one another. Learning someone's language doesn't mean you have to speak French when you don't. Yelling at them in French and and getting really frustrated when they don't understand you. You know, it's very different. Some people think, well, I have been trying to teach them my language. No, you've been trying to yell at them in your language, expecting them to get it. And then when they didn't get it, or didn't even try to get it because you're yelling, you demonize them. Okay, I'm not going to yell at someone in Hebrew when they don't understand it and then get super upset with them for not understanding it. It's ridiculous. Okay, can we redirect this reading to Virgos, please? Nine of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. You're feeling the big changes. You're going through them. You've already surrendered the control and trying to hold on to reality the way you thought it should be. And the Wheel of Fortune dropped right underneath the Death card, okay? So you sense the major changes. And it stretches your boundaries and it makes you feel uncomfortable and unsafe and a little bit weird. Which is very natural, by the way. However, as long as you're aware that it's just a what's the word? Just why did I just lose words? It's temporary. It's a temporary adjustment period. There you go. It's like your chemicals. I'm picking up like you're chemically really transforming right now to match whatever changes are abound. So it would be more fluid for you. And that change in structure and in matzav tzvira, and like when matter changes into liquid, when liquid changes into gas, and so on. It's anyway, that process can be quite painful and very confusing and disorienting because it's literally molecules and atoms like dropping, renewing, changing, moving around. But your spirit is with it. Your spirit is guiding this. It's the driver of this, right? Again, we started with the King of Swords and the Magician. This was planned. This is manifested and executed. So this is yours. That you've created this, right? And now you built the wagon. Now you need to hop on it, and it's like, whoa. It's okay. Let the bigger forces guide you and surprise you and rule you. Yes. Have fun with it. Queen of Wands, wherever you can, just do things that are inspiring to you, that are fun for you, that are creative. Bottom of the deck, the Empress. I'm picking up on a lot of creativity. If you're creative, just create things. Paint, write, play, whatever. Act, for some of you, design, sing, anything. Hang out with animals. Nurture your garden. Change up your style. Whatever. These are things that would really allow you to be in the moment with joy, and that will accelerate your transformation, your energetic transformation. Joy is the most powerful tool to help you flow through transformation. I'm constantly drawn back to this King of Swords. What does he want? Who is this guy? Show me for Virgo the King of Swords, please. Strength card. There might be a spiritual friendship being... And oh my God, it fell right underneath the Magician. Oh, this is such a beautiful reading. Okay. This is black magic and white magic, by the way. And when I say black magic and white magic, I don't mean like evil versus good, just different types of magic. The one that extends itself, that is based in action, and the one that is just invited in. So I'm seeing like a deep sense of friendship being built or respect towards someone. Like someone is either really have deep feelings of respect to you or honoring of you, or like a spiritual care for you. There's also something with animals, the Queen of Wands and the Strength card. You might be dealing with an animal or animals. You might be connecting with an animal. An animal might come into your life, a familiar, a pet. Or you're working with them somehow. I'm picking up on a therapeutic, you know how there's therapeutic horsemanship? So it could be that, or a therapeutic anything with animals or with children. I'm picking up on also on a therapy animal that you might have or will have, or you're guided to have. This could be helpful. This reading is not just for April. It's I feel like it applies to August and possibly November. It's like a long-term reading. But tell me more about this connection. The Magician and the Strength card to explain the King of Swords. I think there might be like a love connection that is going to start with deep respect, with a lot of respect to one another, to what it is that the other does. King of Pentacles. It might even start with, it might be work related, because if there's so much respect to what the other person is doing, maybe it's like someone really appreciates what you do, or you really appreciate what they do, or you kind of meet in that arena somehow. Someone is a strong leader in the material world. Could be financial, could be property, could be building, construction, real estate. Someone could be like working in a facility that treats animals somehow. I don't know if they themselves treat animals medicinally or therapeutically, or if they're like in the financial department or the management department, something like that. It's like around, or maybe they're building the structure for something with animals. This keep coming through. It's probably from maybe one or two of you. And also I'm picking up on birds, maybe wild birds, and different types of animals. It's interesting, like really different types of animals that kind of hanging out together. Galzev in Kevis, a wolf lives with a lamb. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to focus on your love life in your extended. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to look into you and your person of interest, or the new person that is going to come through in the next month. And then after the tarot reading, we'll have rune reading. It's available below in the description box. You can find it on Vimeo, on Patreon. I'd love for you to check out Patreon. Thank you to my patrons. Speaking of, thank you to my channel members. If you are a channel member here on YouTube, on top of subscriptions, it's like $1.99 to support the channel every month, and you can cancel it whenever you want. So it's all very helpful. Both you and my patrons are rock stars. Thank you. Okay, I'll see you in a sec. Bye.